United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mr. Crane. This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975. It was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by law. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Madam Clerk, are there any review changes to the agenda?
Yes, Mayor. We have two. Item 14, authorizing a grant in the amount of $50,000 to the Millville Police Department from the Holly City Development Corporation, and also the removal of item 11, which would be waiving the fee permit for Perryman's Excavating for the project at 109 East Main Street.
Thank you. Minutes, please.
Motion to approve and dispense with the reading of the minutes and to proceed with the regular order of business.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Bills?
Mr. Mayor, I move the bills be paid after properly certified.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We've now opened up the meeting for public comment on agenda items only. Anyone that would like to make a comment on an agenda item, please step up to the mic, state your name and your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close the public comment on agenda items only. Old business.
There is no old business, Mayor.
Petitions and letters.
There is no petitions and letters, Mayor.
Reports of commissioners. Commissioner Cooper.
No report, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Commissioner Pepitone.
Yeah, I'd like to report that I'm grateful for the money that we're going to receive from the Holly City Development Corporation to the police department to help us with our summertime bike patrol that we're going to put together. For that, I want to say thank you, Mr. Parent.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
That's it.
Anything else, Commissioner?
No, thank you. I'm sorry.
Commissioner Udalvis.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I will actually reiterate our report from the work session regarding the Community Development Block Grant and Home Programs. The Community Development Block Grant and Home Programs for fiscal year 2018 progressed with the second public hearing of the draft budget in accordance with the proposed plan. According to a revised schedule to address the needs of this year's CDBG program, the comment period for the proposed plan will continue through May 13th, 2018. The Advisory Committee will meet for the second public hearing of the draft budget on Thursday, May 3rd, 2018 at 5 o'clock p.m. in the Richard C. McCarthy Commission Chambers on the 4th floor of Millville City Hall. In addition to the opportunity to speak at the second public hearing, comments may be submitted via written correspondence to Samantha Silvers, CDBG Administrator for the City of Millville, through May 13th, 2018. The public hearing and resolution of the City Commission for the CDBG and home programs for fiscal year 2018 will be scheduled for the regular commission meeting at 7 o'clock p.m. on Tuesday, May 15th, 2018. Additionally, our CDBG administrator was notified today of fiscal year 2018 allocations in the amount of $262,657, which is an increase from our 2017 allocation of $240,043. With that, Mr. Mayor, progress.
Excellent. Vice Mayor Prant.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to submit the annual report of the taxes not collectible. Move it be received and filed.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
That's pretty much my quick report, Mr. Mayor. Progress. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a couple reports. One is streets and roads. As you know, we're getting into the springtime now. We're having a lot of potholes in the city. I got a great email from a lady yesterday that unfortunately went over a pothole at the end of High Street near Route 47 by Lakeside. Had a blowout tire. I was able to call Wayne Gressman from our streets and roads. That was cleared up within an hour, and that this young lady came back and said, look, I went by there, it was fixed, it was great. Expect that, especially right now in the spring. It's going to happen a lot. We are talking with the director of the Freeholders, Joe Dorella. We're trying to get into a mutual aid or shared service because they have some top quality equipment that we may be able to use along with them to really get to our potholes and get those fixed a little faster. Our water department, as you have seen, They've been out, of course, again with the weather, infrastructure. We've had pipes that have been broken west side, also East Broad Street. Those men and women are working very, very hard to get to those problems and secure them and fix them as soon as they can. And hopefully we can stay away from contractors coming in and fixing them for us, because it costs a lot of money. So they're doing the best they can. I'm very proud of the men and women of those two departments, streets and roads and water. Sewer department, again, we're continuing with our upgrades. That's really running very efficiently. I'm very happy of what's going on there, and with that, progress.
Mr. Mayor, if I may also, I would like to submit Cumberland County Board of Health reports for the month of January, February, and March. I move also that they be received and filed.
Second the motion?
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinance on second reading, please.
Okay, we have an ordinance amending the background investigation procedures for license applications to remain up to date with the provisions of NJSA 40:49-4.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this proposed ordinance on second and final reading.
Second motion.
So this ordinance is on second reading. Is number one. Anyone that would like to make a comment in reference to the license application to remain up to date with provision NJSA 40:49-4 for background investigations, please step up to the mic, state your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Oh, we will. Thank you. Seeing no one, I close ordinance number one for votes. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
All right, so we're going to go off the agenda, and we have our engineers here, Pannoni, in reference to 109 East Main Street. We have Mr. Richard Roberts, who's here, and I'd like for him to have the mic so we can have an update as to what's going on at 109 East Main Street. I can't hear you. Oh, Ed's also here. Can you hear me? Can you people hear me? This guy be closer? No? Good. I'm sorry. So we have Ed. We have Brian Prohowicz from our engineering department. You guys can go right there, Ed. Right behind you. That's good. Ed Farrell, Brian Prohowicz, and Richard Roberts.
Good evening, Commission. Brian Prohowicz, Assistant Municipal Engineer. We just wanted to give you an update on the 109 demolition. As we stated, we have Pannoni here, contracting with the city as professionals handling the situation. They have several different fields of engineering, structural, environmental, kind of handling the site. So just like to introduce Ed Farrell from Pannoni. He's kind of the point guy. He'll give you just kind of the general update of the project.
Thank you, Brian.
Evening, Commissioners. Again, my name is Ed Farrell. I'm a professional engineer and a certified municipal engineer in the state of New Jersey. I work for Pannoni Associates, and we're the appointed special projects engineer for the city of Millville. Just going to start with a little bit of background, and I'll move into the actual demolition this week. On Tuesday, March 27, 2018, structural engineers from Pannoni performed an inspection of the properties at 109 and 105 East Main Street in Millville, New Jersey. The purpose of the inspection was to determine if 109 East Main Street could be safely demolished without impacting the adjacent properties. Our inspection of 109 East Main Street determined that the current condition of the structure represents a life safety hazard. It was recommended that until the building is demolished, 105 and 103 East Main Street and the surrounding area remain cordoned off and evacuated. Pannoni documented these findings in a letter to the city dated March 29, 2018, and followed up with a comprehensive structural condition assessment report dated April 10, 2018. In this report, it was concluded that the building had been compromised and it presented a potential life safety hazard due to the substantial potential for collapse of the structure. Based on the findings of our report, the city engaged Pannoni to prepare demolition bid plans, which would include technical specifications as general notes on the drawings for the subject building. Now, a typical turnaround of such documents under normal conditions would be 2 to 3 weeks, but due to the emergency conditions here, Pannoni was able to provide those bid plans within 2 days. Pannoni also reviewed and coordinated the demolition means and methods and site safety demolition plan provided by Perryman's Excavation, the demolition contractor on site, in compliance with OSHA standards. Pannoni also provided on-site inspections to monitor the safe demolition of the structure thus far. Due to the age of the existing building at 109 East State Street, an asbestos building investigation was recommended. However, since the building is structurally unsound, an investigation could not be completed to satisfy the applicable state and federal regulations. According to these agency regulations, if the building materials cannot be confirmed as non-asbestos, then all materials must be treated as asbestos-containing and handled accordingly during demolition. So prior to demolition, a licensed asbestos abatement contractor was to submit a 10-day notification to the New Jersey Department of Labor. And since the building has been deemed in danger of collapse, Pannoni worked together with this abatement contractor to submit an application for a 10-day waiver for this, a waiver of the 10-day waiting period due to the emergency situation. So Pannoni had been working together with the city and then also with the contractors to get this project started. So a pre-construction meeting was actually held here at the city on Monday, April the 23rd. At this meeting were city officials, representatives from the police department, fire department, public works, engineering, and then also Pannoni representatives as well as Perryman Excavating were all in attendance. The demolition of 109 East Main Street was discussed and how the city and contractor would work together to ensure public health and safety throughout the demolition process. Being careful throughout the process was definitely paramount. The physical demolition of 109 East Main Street began on Wednesday, April the 25th. The contractor provided temporary shoring within 105 East Main Street prior to the start. Demolition began with pieces of the building of the northeast corner of Main Street and the adjacent parking lot began to be picked apart. Demolition debris was contained on site by the steel barriers erected by Perryman Excavating prior to the demo start. Water suppression for dust control was provided by the city fire department throughout the demolition process. Similar work continued on Thursday and Friday, the 26th and 27th. Larger portions of the east exterior wall that's adjacent to the parking lot were removed, as well as the northern exterior wall, which is actually front to Main Street. Interior building structure, including walls and flooring, were also brought down throughout those next couple days. And the west wall, which is above 105, was brought down to the third floor elevation from the front to approximately mid-span of the building. Debris was also placed over those 3 days in plastic-lined dumpsters by machine and by hand with men in Tyvek suits and respirators, and sealed and hauled off site safely. Pannoni environmental staff were situated along the perimeter of the site, performing air monitoring and air quality testing, and readings throughout those 3 days all came back clean. Monday, April 30th, a meeting was held to discuss the demolition of the brick or party wall between East 109 and 105 properties. The contractor, city engineer, and Pannoni structural staff performed an investigation of the property with respect to this party wall. And at this point, I will turn over to our structural engineer, also from Pannoni, Rich Roberts.
Thank you. Good evening. Where we are right now is that some temporary shoring has been installed within 105 to hold the building up as the 109 is demolished. In the next couple of days, additional shoring will be installed to assure that the rest of 105 remains standing, and then temporary shoring can be completed to enclose the side of the building. That's essentially where we are. I don't know if anybody has any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Farrell. Thank you, Brian. Anything else? Any questions? Any commissioners have any questions?
No, thank you.
Yeah, maybe I may, can, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I want to thank Pannoni Engineering. You guys are the best. Without you, I don't know where we would have been on this project. As I know, safety is the primary concern of all of us. That was our number one concern as a city. And it was important that we also make sure that the people across the street, which is our senior citizen high-rise building, the doors, the windows were closed. I want to thank the Housing Authority, Paul Dice. They did an excellent job talking to all the citizens there, all the residents, about the demolition. And the day that we started the demolition over there, they went door to door to remind all the senior citizens to please keep your windows closed. We know the status of, right now, the gym's lunch. I don't know if the mayor, I'm going to leave that up to the mayor to make that announcement, not me. I'll wait for that. But there was also a concern of a lot of us, and it wasn't just the concern of that building falling down and also the concern of the senior citizens. There's a building directly in back of that building that we're demolishing, which is a home, a house. There's two of them, in fact, on that location. We have families in there. We had to make sure that they were safe at all times also. And we wanted to make sure that nothing got into the atmosphere on the demolition. That's why it has taken so long to do. We're all frustrated. We wish the building was down. We wish that 49 was open. I'll let the mayor talk about that when the time comes. But you know, we're just so pleased. We understand the frustration that the people of the city have had it taking so long. But again, you know, the one thing I'm always concerned about, maybe it's because I've been around a little bit, was litigation. You know, we wanted to make sure every step of the way we will be fine because, folks, we will be in some kind of litigation. That is guaranteed. You know, there's no question in my mind. I don't think there's any question in council's mind, or I hope the people who sit up here. There's going to be a process of lawsuits. We will try to recoup a lot of the cost, if not all the cost, but some of the cost through the process. You know, we're going to be going to court. And, you know, I'm going to save my comments a little bit about that at this time because of the city possibly being in litigation, okay? It's not that I don't know. I know what's happening. I want people to know that. I think this commission has been briefed. I want to make sure that the meetings that were attended, I was there every day. Every day I was there. It was important that the commissioners were all notified by our city administrator, Regina Burke, on the process and things were happening day to day. So that the commissioners also are informed about what was happening every day. So that I know everybody has the questions, you know, when's it coming down? You know, it's important. To me, there is no gag order on any city commissioner up here. I'll make that perfectly clear. There's never been a gag order on any city commission. People can shake your head all you want. I mean, I'm telling you the way I am, okay? I know the facts. Some people think they know the facts, but I do know the facts that's happening. Okay? If a commissioner wishes to say something, they have every right to say something. Only the reminder, be careful what you say, because we possibly are going to go into some form of litigation. That was it. If they have any comment, they can talk. The mayor has never put a gag order, to my knowledge, on anybody. He knows better than put a gag order on me because I like to talk. Okay? But I just want to try to also help bring people somewhat up to date. You know, a lot has happened. I don't think a lot of us are happy because it has taken so doggone long. Okay? And we apologize. We apologize to the citizens who have to travel back and forth. You know, we apologize to our city employees. You know, it's also a burden on our city employees, knowing that all this demolition is going on throughout the city. You know, we have to take care and make sure that they're also safe. You know, that's all important things that we as a city commission are concerned about. I don't want to get tied up in a lawsuit because we didn't do something. We have done everything according by law we have done, to the best of my knowledge, okay? And again, I just want to thank our consultants. Guys, you're the best. You are the best, no question about it. People will say, well, why do you have them there? You did this, you did that. They cost a little more money. I want the best. I want the best to represent this city and defend this city if we have to go to court. And they are the best, okay? So with that, Mayor, I know there's some things, Mayor, that you may want to comment on, and I'm going to leave it up to the Mayor. Thanks, Mayor.
So is anyone else want to say anything right now? No? As the Vice Mayor stated, it has taken a long time, but I think we've did all our dotting of I's and crossing of our T's, and the number thing for us was public safety. And not only for the people on the road, the people that are walking, the residents behind us. And as Vice Mayor has said, and I think all of us can agree up here, that Pannoni has done an outstanding job. They've been there to inform us. We're following the plan. They've done a great job. But not only them, our engineers within our department, our construction people within our city, our employees. They've been doing a great job doing what needs to be done to get this job done. With that, we have some good news. We're hoping that by tomorrow evening around this time that Route 49 will be open so we can get that going. We're also hoping, as they've stated already, that Jim's Lunch is going to stay. We're pretty much, I don't want to give it a number, but Jim's Lunch is here to stay, and I'm very, very happy about that because that was one of the things we were very worried about Jim's Lunch. And as Vice Mayor said, I know a lot of people aren't happy because of the way we might have done things, or you didn't like the way we were moving. But at this point, we have Pannoni here who's saying we did what we had to do the right way. Safety was number one. And thank God no one was ever hurt, that building came down unexpectedly to us. And then we would have been in a different situation. So, thank you.
Mayor, I do think we have to give a big thank you to Perryman.
Sure.
The person who's out there, he's like a surgeon. I mean, people say, oh, you just grab something and tear it down. That's not that simple, folks, believe me. And he's done a tremendous job making sure that every move that he made was to protect the city itself, every move. And it was slow. But again, we err on the side of safety. I don't know how he does it. The way he got a hold of stuff up in that building and what he did. And he had spotters up there. I mean, I don't know how he did it without that whole thing falling down right now. So, again, I just wanted to personally thank Perry.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor.
All right, we'll move along. Madam Clerk?
Okay, item 2 on ordinances on on second reading, an ordinance approving and authorizing an application to the State of New Jersey Commissioner of Transportation for the Millville Volunteer Fire Department Incorporated to hold a coin drop on June 29th, 2018 and June 30th, 2018 on the Route 55 southbound exit ramp to Route 49.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this proposed ordinance on second and final reading.
Second the motion.
Again, this is a ordinance on second reading. Anyone that has any comments or concerns concerning this coin drop for the Millville Fire Department on June 29th and June 30th on Route 55 southbound, please step up to the mic, state your name and your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close item number 2 on ordinances on second reading. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3 is an ordinance amending the rates of compensation for contracting off-duty law enforcement officers to remain up to date with the current fees for these services.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this proposed ordinance on second and final reading.
Second motion.
Any comments? Once again, I open this up to the public concerning compensation for contracting off-duty law enforcement officers to remain up to date with the current fees for these services. Anyone that has any concerns or comments in reference to item number 3, please step up to the mic, state your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, ordinance or reading number 3, ordinance on second reading. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4 is an ordinance amending Chapter 2, Article 19, Salaries and Compensation, subsection 2-69, Salaries of Officers and Employees.
Mr. Mayor, move the passage of this proposed ordinance on second and final reading.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Once again, this is a reading, second reading, item number 4 on Chapter 2 Administration. It's on salaries and composition. Anyone that would like to address this, item number 4, please step up to the mic, state your name and your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close item number 4 on second reading. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 5 is an ordinance authorizing the sale of parcels at Block 418, Lot 2, and Block 461, Lot 1.02 to the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the required improvements necessary to comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act project.
Mr. Mayor, move the passage of this proposed ordinance on second and final reading.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Once again, it's ordinance on second reading, item number 5, concerning New Jersey DOT, Route 49, Sarah Run to Garrison Lane. It's for the opening for Americans with Disability Act Please step up to the mic, state your name and your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close item number 5 on ordinance reading, second ordinance reading. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 6 is an ordinance amending the rates of compensation for contracting off-duty career firefighters.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this proposed ordinance on second and final reading.
Second motion.
Comments? All right, once again, I open this up for public hearing. Item number 6, ordinance on second reading. It's in reference to rates of compensation of contracting off-duty career firefighters. If you have any comments or concerns, please step up to the mic and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close item number 6 on ordinance reading 2. Madam Clerk?
Okay, Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinance on first reading, please.
There are no ordinance on first
We'll
reading.
go right to
Mayor.
resolutions.
Okay, item 1 is a resolution authorizing the tax collector to enter into an installment plan pursuant to NJSA 54:5-19 with the property owner of Block 375, Lot 8, known as 404 East Vine Street, to pay water sewer back billing in the amount of $2,164 in 24 equal installments of $90.17 each, beginning June 1st, 2018, with the last installment by May 31st, 2020.
Mr. Mayor, move the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion?
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2 is a resolution approving a discharge of mortgage executed by David A. Johnson for property located at 505 East Oak Street, Block 374, Lot 3.
Mr. Mayor, move the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion?
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3 is a resolution approving a discharge of mortgage executed by Emily M. Alvino and Joan H. Jackalwitz for property located at 1010 South 3rd Street, Block 560, Lot 3.
Mr. Mayor, move the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion?
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4 is a resolution authorizing adjustments in the tax and utility records.
Mr. Mayor, move the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion?
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 5 is a resolution authorizing change order number 5 for project entitled Wastewater Treatment Plant Phase 2 Upgrades with Worth and Company Incorporated for an additional amount of $23,611.
With that, Mr. Mayor, I have a certification of availability of funds from Marcy Shepard, Chief Financial Officer, in the amount of $23,611. Move the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion?
Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 6 is a resolution authorizing change order number 1, final, for project entitled High Street Resurfacing Phase 1 with South State Incorporated for an additional amount of $17,138.86.
And with that, Mr. Mayor, I have a certification of availability of funds from Marcy Shepard, Chief Financial Officer, in the amount of $17,138.86. Move the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion?
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 7 is a resolution authorizing change order number 1, final, for project entitled High Street Resurfacing Phase 2 with South State Incorporated for a reduced amount of $2,701.42.
Mr. Mayor, move the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion?
Any comments? Well needed. We need it. Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 8 is a resolution authorizing a Fifth Amendment to professional services contract to provide environmental legal consultant services with Franklin Riesenberger Esquire of Blaster Greenberger PC for an additional amount not to exceed $120,000.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of this resolution, but I do have a comment. This is in reference to some areas of Wheaton's, the old plant, and also around the airport. And this is a continuation of that contract.
Right.
So I know it's a lot of money, but these are things that have to get done.
He's doing
So,
a great job.
you know, Move
I
the
do-
adoption of this resolution.
Second
also-
the motion. Hold on.
Okay,
Comment?
I also have a comment as well. After examining the terms of the Fifth Amendment to the professional services contract to provide environmental legal consultant services with Franklin Riesenberger, Esquire of Laster Greenberg, for an additional amount not to exceed $120,000, the primary concern I will assert is the cap of $120,000 allocated in the amended contract terminating on July 14th, 2018, so July of this year. While the environmental legal consultant services encompass services provided by licensed site remediation professionals, the possibility of incurring an additional $120,000 in expenditures through July 14th of this year creates a valid reason for concern in regard to our budget. Researching the unique context of this contract for environmental legal consultant services, it's essential to examine whether or not any of the responsibilities being addressed in, going forward through this contract may be implemented and monitored administratively through our own Department of Public Works and specifically the engineering department. It would be my recommendation that seeking strategies to consolidate those services before authorizing an additional amount not to exceed $120,000 by July 2018 would allow the city to create a reasonable evaluation of prospective costs for environmental legal consultant services.
Regina, do you have any comments in reference to this?
Yes, Vice Mayor.
Thank
Do you have the certificate of availability in front of you?
There is none with this resolution.
No, it is. I
Yes.
believe this
Yes,
is.
there is.
Is it,
Yeah.
is it
Go
to a
ahead.
C account?
Yeah.
Okay. This is because of there's litigation, and there's actually a bond that was done years ago
That's
to pay
correct.
for this litigation,
Right.
and has to do with the environmental for that. It's actually charged to our capital budget. There's a bond for it. It has to do with the land out of the airport and Wheaton properties. So it's not a charge to our regular annual budget. It's been ongoing. I'm not sure. I mean, we could explore whether or not there's expertise within the city, but I think it's well beyond
That's,
anybody within the city that could handle. We have no environmental backgrounds.
that was my concern
Yeah.
with the Public Works and our engineering department as to where we are today. If we did have anybody qualified, that we'd be
We
able
don't.
to take over and do this.
This is a continuation that's been done since the last city commission, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it's been
It's
before
been done
that.
for
It probably
years.
might be back to when you were
Yes.
here.
Okay,
Yes.
so I
It
think,
goes back.
if the commissioner has concern, I wish the commissioner would let me know. I would let him know a little ahead of time.
Right.
With that, Mr. Mayor, I have a certification availability of funds from Marcy Shepherd in the amount of $120,000 and move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any other comments? Good point, Commissioner. Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
No.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 9 is a resolution designating the mayor and acting municipal engineer on their assigned agents to sign and endorse all sewer permit application forms required for the sewer extensions of projects entitled Millville High School additions and renovations.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 10 is a resolution authorizing certificate of lien release for property located at 714 Buck Street, known as Block 306, Lot 3, assessed to Barbara Caselli.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. We'll go into item 12. Item 11 was removed,
Right.
or tabled, excuse me.
Tabled.
Okay. Item 12 is a resolution authorizing award of contracts for furnishing various chemical supplies awarded to JCI Jones Chemicals Incorporated, Sarasota, Florida, to furnish liquid chlorine at 56 cents per pound, and a contract to Greer Industries, Morgantown, West Virginia, to furnish 50-pound bags of lime for $289.75 per ton, not bag.
I have a certification of funds from Chief Financial Officer, Marcy Shepherd, in the amount of $289.75 per ton. Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion?
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 13 is a resolution amending Resolution Number 134-2018, approved on April 17, 2018, due to error in the agreement with Millville Urban Redevelopment Corporation, correcting said term to reflect the duration of the remainder of the current year, December 31st, 2018, not December 31st, 2019.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Perrin?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 14, a resolution authorizing a third-party agreement between the City of Millville and Holly City Development Corporation, who has secured neighborhood revitalization tax credit grant funding and has agreed to contribute grant monies to the Millville Police Department for the purchase of equipment in the amount of $14,000 and to increase community engagement and the police patrols in the amount of $36,000.
Mr. Mayor, I thankfully move for the adoption of this resolution.
I just have, before I vote, I'm vice chairman of that organization, and I'm not sure if I should be voting on this or not at this time. Can I abstain that vote? Yeah. And if someone else would
I
second
will second
that,
the
I appreciate
motion.
it.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, if I may, are you finished, Vice Mayor?
Yeah, go ahead.
Again, this is something that the police department is looking for. As you know, we do have bikes, but the bike patrol is such an important part, intricate part of the police department. And this is really, really going to help the police department on those bikes and covering more areas, I should say, silently, which I like. So,
Thank you.
anyone else?
You know, I don't think I can comment on this, or can I comment? I'm not going to say
I'm
anything at this
abstaining.
time.
You're
Let other
abstaining.
people say it, okay? Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, commissioners.
Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Okay, Vice Mayor Perrin abstains.
Abstain?
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
New business?
I just need a motion to authorize an extension of licensed premises on behalf of Sideline Sports Bar, authorizing a fundraiser for state trooper injured in the line of duty to be held on June 2nd, 2018, from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Perrin?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2, I just need a motion to authorize the city clerk to advertise for bids for the project known as 6th Street Road Reconstruction. Said bids to be returned to the purchasing board on June 7, 2018 at 10 a.m., 4th floor, Richard C. McCarthy Commission Chamber, City Hall.
Mr. Mayor, move for the motion.
Second motion?
Any comments? No. Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Perrin?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We've now reached the public comment portion of our meeting. Anyone who would like to address this commission, please go to the podium, state your name, and address your concerns, and please limit your comments to 5 minutes, please.
Good evening, everyone. Pastor Steve Harris from Restoration House.
Pastor?
Got a couple things just to throw out there for the community. The first thing is on behalf of the Millville Ministers Fellowship, this Thursday we're having National Day of Prayer. That's right here on the steps of City Hall, and that'll be from noon to 1. Okay? You're more
That's
than
May
welcome.
4th.
Yes, I'm sorry. May 4th.
And what was the time again, Pastor?
Noon to 1.
Thank you.
Yep.
Was it Thursday, May 3rd?
Thursday.
4th. May.
Well, that-
is it
Of course, it's Friday.
5th? Oh, then it's
This Friday.
Whatever
go by me
Thursday
then.
is,
Third.
the
The
3rd,
third?
that's what it is.
the
Okay.
3rd. Thank you.
This third.
Thank you.
Louis,
That's why
Louis,
she's
Louis,
a
I'm
here's-
holding a cell phone. I should know better. Okay. So anyway, it's open for anyone to come. Several of the pastors are going to be there, including myself, and it's a great time to get together and pray for our city, community, everything. Okay. The second thing is, as I've talked before about the whole recovery addiction nightmare we have going on, not just in the city but just in the country. We've got an opioid issue, and our church is partnering with Cumberland Cares to have May 11th. We will have something called Restoring Hope Coffee House. And Mayor Santiago, it was the same thing that we did back at Sal's Church
Yes.
a couple years back. And essentially what this is we turned the sanctuary into like a coffee house. We have tables, we have like open mic, we have music, testimonies, and different things like that. But it's open for anyone who's maybe going through recovery, or a lot of times the families get left behind who are dealing with somebody who has a relative or a friend that's in recovery. So in that aspect, it's from 7 to 9, free food, coffee, just like a real laid-back atmosphere, but it's just something to get us started in that direction to give support where necessary. The third thing is, on behalf of Nicole Wittstein and Ginger Lashley, the American Cancer Society, there's a benefit called Relay for Life. It's happening at Lakeside Middle School. That is Saturday, May 19th. Am I right on that, Mary? Okay, just making sure the chief got it. All right. So that's actually an all-day event into the night. Starts at noon and ends sometime in the early evening. So that's been done before, but they don't really get a lot of press, so I offered to be the press guy. Okay. So the last thing I want to say is, Vice Mayor, I really enjoy our conversations we've been having recently and flipping my hat to my other job with the Chamber. As we mentioned, we're trying to look at how the Chamber is doing things and how we can re-synergize with the city. And there's a lot of discussion, a lot of conversation we're trying to have. And one of the things I think you and I hit on was making it as easy as possible for people to do business in the city. And at the same time, making the Chamber not just, one of the things is making us a sales rep or kind of a conduit between businesses. But we have some things that we want to develop in a new plan where we have, what was it again, Vice Mayor, the Creative Enterprise on 14 Mulberry, is the title? Did I get it right? Okay.
City Development Corporation.
So to try to encourage people who are developing or innovating and creating new businesses and so forth, to then also give them a path. And you're encouraging with that one building to have people who have the entrepreneurial spirit. They can get a real low rent to come in and do some things. But then how do we start to incorporate them into the Chamber, into the city, and get them acclimated with things here, and then be able to help them to develop? Because as we all know, manufacturing may come back to a point, but really AI, artificial intelligence, is going to take a lot of jobs in the come 10, 20 years. So with that, we need innovators. And so we need to create like an incubator to start getting people to throw ideas out there and do new things. And wouldn't it be great if Millville was known for that? Okay? So these are just a few things that I know we've been talking about and kicking around, but more to come. But I really, covet your support, if you would, to do that. So if there's anything I can do, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Steve. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Amy Lowers, River Drive, Millville. I've been having a problem with my neighbor since last September. September 9th, I put a note on his door that... Sorry, can you hear me?
No, I can hear you.
Okay. His yard is a total mess. The brush in his yard. I wrote a note, can you please, clean up your bushes? I don't really know him. I know his name. I know his address. And I thought, he would, I wrote my name and my address, and that, he could contact me or my husband so that maybe we could set up something where we could help him do it. He's elderly, like 70s. So no response. So let me get my dates here. On September 25th of 2017, I went to the city, and I took pictures of his yard, and because if I'm gonna, yes, I live in the green belt. I live in the green belt. That doesn't mean that I should have to deal with. His yard is a mess. Bob Polis came out the same day. I will say Bob Polis came out the same day and wrote the guy's summonses. I will say that about Bob Polis. He was out there the first day. So this is back in October. So I guess he went to court, and he didn't fix any of his property. He went to court, and he paid the fines. He didn't clean anything up. He just paid the fines. I guess in Millville, I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying, you just pay the fines, and then you don't have to clean up your yard. Just stay a mess. I'm pretty blunt, but and not to mention, I'm just going to mention this as a side note. He has threatened me, and it is on police record. He doesn't like the fact that I reported him when I gave him advance notice in his door that I wanted him to address this with me and my husband. We are people that we have to live in the neighborhood with these people, so I'm not trying to ruffle feathers. But I had to go to the city because I keep my yard very clean. I am a disabled housewife. My husband works 2 jobs. We have a 16-year-old daughter. I like to go out in my yard and enjoy it. I don't want to see his brush, which is now moved the fence back. And we don't know who the fence is. So I'm expected to get a city solicitor so that I can know where my property line is. Well, I mean, I don't have $500 to give a city solicitor. On February 28th, I found out that I have to have, within the next couple of years, a new septic to put in. Okay, so with all of this, my husband working 2 jobs, he works for the Board of Education and he works latchkey at Bacon School, and me being on disability, $15,000 to $20,000 for a septic system, I have to stay there. I can't just sell my house with a faulty septic system. I don't want to sell my house. I like my property. I don't want to look at his mess. And I mean, I have emailed you, Commissioner Ashley.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm sorry, my bad for not making the meeting. I have severe anxiety. Right now, like my heart is beating a mile a minute. I mean, I'm in front of
You're doing very
who
well.
runs Millville.
Great, you're doing great.
But I'm saying you guys run Millville, and I'm on YouTube. But I'm just saying, I try to do things the right way. And there's also been an issue with him because he didn't fix his cats, and now we have a feral cat colony behind our house. This is just a side note. This is what I'm gonna end on, and I've dealt with Gary Meyer about the colony. Okay, I don't believe that a cat colony belongs in a residential neighborhood where your cat, I have 2 dogs, I clean up their poop, I scoop up their poop. Now I have feral cats pooping and peeing and spraying in my yard from the colony. Okay, now the feral cat property where they're using it is located on 119 Main Drive and 121 Main Drive, which does not even belong to, it belongs to Steve Levick, who lives on Coombs Road. Okay, it doesn't, all right, this is how is it legal to register a cat colony on someone else's property? Is it legal? I mean, see, Dr. Gregory Reef lives in my neighborhood. He takes care of the cat colony. And to me, it's so that he doesn't have to deal with the cats coming on his property. No, they come in my fire pit and they scratch and they go to the bathroom. And I don't think that a residential neighborhood, they're a nuisance. I don't want to walk out my back door and look and smell. I don't want to do it. And I've sat with Gary and he talks to me like I'm an idiot. And I told him that, and I don't appreciate that because I have a bachelor's degree in legal studies, so I'm not an idiot. I'm not. And when I came to him and I said, I'm going to find out if this property, if this man, because I know this man because I went to Fairton Christian with his children. So I'm going to find out if that property, if he knows that somebody is trespassing on his property and feeding cats. These cats are in the neighborhood, and it's just become, and I can't get my neighbors to come here. I'm the only one that can stand up for what's right. I want the yard clean. I want Winfield Morgan's 117 Main Drive clean. The lady they said, oh, well, you can't make anybody do it. What can I do? So that's my story. I have a 16-year-old daughter. She's scared to be home alone because this man threatened me. I know it's not, you might not think it's a big deal, but it's a big deal to me because I put $80,000 down on that house. I've maintained my property, so
Amy, you've done an outstanding job. We hear you. I know that Commissioner Udalvis knows that, and also Commissioner Pepitone.
You live down my way.
Both
You had my
departments,
kid in Awana.
Both departments, the people you're talking about are in their department, so I'm sure you'll get an answer from them. Thank you.
Thank you
You're
for your
very
time.
good.
Thank
Very
you for your
good. Thank
time.
you.
Betty Motley in Millville. Then they find my voice. I have to say, I've lived here 30 years. Now, in that 30 years, we've had straight wind, we've had all kinds of things, tornadoes. My development has never looked this bad. There's brush and leaves everywhere. I mean, everywhere. It's a mess. So if we have a rainstorm, every drain in there, between there and White Marsh Creek, is going to be stopped up. So getting that over with. My second thing is, Mr. Parent, you and I, we always respect each other, and we don't always agree. Anybody knows us, they know that. Yeah. And I just have a question. I want you to think about it. Because at the last meeting, you said that you only hire the best.
That's correct.
To do the best job for Millville. Don't you think, now think about this, it's a little coincidence that every person that does the best job donated to the San Diego team? You don't think that's coincidence?
Well, just continue. I'll answer that at the
Okay,
end. Thanks.
but I mean, that's what I'm just saying.
No, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay, now my next thing is, I want to go back to the last meeting, and I was so glad I could get here tonight. So, not too much time would have passed. Mr. San Diego, or if he likes to be called Mayor San Diego, I guess I'll call him that, he said that he didn't have to answer my questions. Well, I thought about it, and I thought, wait a minute, why not? First of all, I'm paying his salary, me and everybody in here, and everybody in Millville, for him to sit in that seat. We're paying his pension from being a policeman. We're paying his sheriff's salary for being a sheriff. We're paying for the car that sits, brand new car that sits in your driveway constantly. We paid for your health insurance when you were sick. That saved you God only knows what. We're paying for your son to be a policeman. We're paying for your brother to work for the city. I would say that you are benefiting quite a bit from us and the taxpayers. So how do you think and have the audacity to say you don't have to answer us? You work for us. Whether you want to admit it or not, you work for us. You're no different than somebody working for a company. And I don't know how you got elected, but they can put you out as easy as you got put in. So don't think that you don't have to answer to the citizens of Millville, because eventually they'll catch on and you'll find out you have to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Betty.
Good evening, Brian McGahee, Millville. Mr. Mayor, in the beginning of the meeting, you stated that you were in talks with Joe Dorella, freeholder, about fixing potholes. Please tell me you're not going to use that same machine the county uses.
Say it again.
You were
The
in
machine?
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of machine it is.
Well, they use a machine that just the driver stays in the truck and it just dumps some stuff in there.
Maybe that's just a temporary thing, and then we can come back?
Well, if you drive on any county road in this county, it's like a washboard where they fill
Okay.
holes with that thing. It does a terrible job.
Okay.
Please, please, please do not use it in Millville, on Millville streets. That's my, thank you.
All right, Brian, thank you. I didn't know that. Thank you.
Nobody there, Mayor.
Nobody else?
No, close it.
Seeing no one else, I close the public portion part of this meeting. Comments of commissioners. Commissioner Cooper.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ms. Monteleone, I just have a question. Where's that area at? White Marsh? And what's really specifically going on with it? Is it just trees? Is it just brush? Is it?
Leaves, they're all mixed together. Everywhere. I mean, I've never seen my development. We have development. I've never seen it like this. Like there he is.
Bruce, move on.
I was going to pop.
All right, thank you. We'll take a look at that. I just want to say again, thank you to Holly City Development because of the bike patrol. I'm actually a bike patrol officer myself, and I know what an impact it can make in the community, and that's a major step in the right direction for our police department. I'm sure Commissioner Peppertone, you're excited about it. I'm excited about it. We talked about it during the campaign, and now it's here. So that's. Are you excited about it, Mary? Okay, great. So I think that's a step in the right direction, and I think that you seeing those patrols will do a lot moving forward in the upcoming months of the spring and summer, and it's going to be a positive impact in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Peppertone?
Yeah. As we all know, this building issue has been quite a quandary for the city, and I want to actually thank the engineers who came and made as much sense of it as they could. I think it was pretty good, and for both the mayor and vice mayor for clearly stating the process and all the issues that came. It's easy to sit and basically make a judgment when you don't know all the information, but we've been apprised of the things that have been going on, and I think Jim and the mayor both eloquently stated what the reasons were, that safety had to be the paramount issue. And I'm excited that Jim's going to stay. Jim's lunch is going to stay. Thank you.
Commissioner Davis.
Yep. Commissioner Dalvis?
Yes. In light of some of the concerns addressed during the public comments portion of the regular meeting, I seek to address the concerns for our city's budget and the accountability of our elected officials to ensuring that all contracted services should be monitored and evaluated regularly to determine that, first, the quality of services reflects the cost of services rendered, and second, that the contractor or vendor of the professional services contract reflects the priority of the city of Millville and its taxpayers. This requires formative evaluation with continued monitoring and steadfast accountability. Professional services contracts create the opportunity for consumers to evaluate the services and costs of vendors over a specific time frame, specifically 1 year. I will seek to independently evaluate services through my role as a commissioner to determine cost effectiveness and determine whether or not the services rendered promote the advancement of the city of Millville. It's essential to maintain the understanding that our roles as commissioners include advocating for and acting in the best interest of the city of Millville and its taxpayers. It is not a decision based on the individual, but on the community and its needs. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioner, Vice Mayor?
First of all, I agree with everything Commissioner Dahlvin said. You know, I think that is important, Commissioner, that we do look at things, and you know, we will continue doing that as a city. I think it is important. Our communication amongst one another is vitally important. You know, if a commissioner has a concern about a department, just let the commissioner know. You know, that there's something that the commissioner may have a question about. We're more than happy to work with every commissioner. I've done a lot of training with this group up here before they were sworn in January. You know, we went through everything. We broke down every department, just for your own information, folks. And the responsibility of that commissioner in that department. And they were well educated about what goes on in that department. As I said to them, and I will keep saying it, everyone up here is equal. You have an equal vote. You operate your department, you run your department. All I ask is that we have communications with one another if it involves one another's department. We want to keep that line of communication open. It's going to build a better city. And I'm enthused. Look, we have difference of opinion up here, folks. But let me tell you something. I'm encouraged by that. I really am, because you're seeing, even though we may be a team, we may have all gotten elected, we ran strong throughout a campaign, we still are individuals. And we will respect each other's decisions and their comments. And I think that is important. You know, we project that to the people who are watching on TV. You know, they judge us every meeting, not just so much what we do. You're on TV, huh? Okay. Now, you're not nervous now. But, you know, that is important. You know, our lines of communications with the city administrator, our municipal clerk, and each other is so important. Comments in reference to Pastor Steve. Pastor and I have known each other for a while. And he knows where I'm coming from on our issues in the city. I am 1,000% in favor and will do all we can. I know this commission, not just me. It's not my show. It's our show. All right? That we are very, very active with the Chamber of Commerce. And Pastor is absolutely right. They are our best salesmen out there promoting our city. We need that in economic development, and we appreciate everyone who's a member of that Chamber of Commerce. We go to their lunches now. We are members of the city with the Chamber of Commerce. That is important. And I have my reasons. I don't understand why they were never members of that Chamber of Commerce, Pastor. That was their decision. Our decision is to be proactive, and we will continue doing that. There are a lot of things happening in this city that are going to be, you're going to be shocked about, okay? The mayor and I have been at a lot of meetings. A lot of positive things are happening. A lot of business and industry will be coming to this city. We just can't say it right now. There's still some things that we're working on, but we are aggressive in that. Betty, you and I go way back, and your husband and I are good friends. Hi, Jim, if you're watching. I don't know if Jim's watching or not, probably not. But, I want everybody to rest assured. I'm not for sale. I am not for sale, period. The people who know me know I am not for sale, okay? So when someone makes a comment that because someone contributed to a campaign, that does not enter my mind. And people can shake your head. You can do whatever you want to do. I have a record of that, okay, of voting as an independent person up here. And if people believe in me as a candidate or believe in us as a team, that's their desire. That's their desire, okay? So, I don't need favoritism. I don't even know these men personally, okay? They know me. They heard about me, probably. I don't know, good, bad, or indifferent. So people would like to contribute. That's fine. It's a tough campaign. It costs money to run a campaign. It costs money to do things that we believe is important to this city, and we will continue doing that. So I just want to make that clear, folks. I'm not for sale. I don't know any commissioner up here who's for sale, okay? That's, I'm offended when people say that, personally, because evidently they really don't know me. They really don't know me. And I do take things like that personal, okay? This administration will continue to work together. We will do that. When I say we hire the best and the brightest, I'm a believer in doing that. I don't care if they're Democrat, Republican, whether they contributed or they didn't, or the way they vote for us or not. That doesn't enter my mind, and I assure that doesn't enter any of these people up here setting. So I will make comments when people say things like that, okay, because I personally feel that, okay? So I'm looking forward to working with the Chamber, Pastor. I'm a major supporter of that, and we're going to work together. Also, I didn't want to forget Mary. We had a great time Saturday. Big shout out to JT. Man, you are the man
JT
out there. Okay, right, Bruce?
Oh, yeah, JT.
We, once again, had a
job,
great time with a lot of young people in this city. We're there with them. And we just can't say enough about JT and all the volunteers that gave their time out there working with our young children. It was about drugs and guns. And the good feature about that are seeing young men who I know have grown up as little guys, and now they're out there, right, Mary? You saw the relationship that we have with each other. But to see these men working with children today, to guiding them that they need, and they just don't talk about sports. They talk about life. They talk about pride. They talk about good things that are important as a citizen in this city. That's what we need. That's what we need more of. And I just can't say enough, Mary. Everybody went out there and worked hard. And, like I said, you're part of our team, and we appreciate that. I'm sorry, Mary. I know I take a little time, folks. Sometimes you just got to say something.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. No, again, Mary, JT and his group did an outstanding job, not only flag football, but also basketball.
Absolutely.
He's involved in our basketball program, and he does a lot for the young kids of the city of Millville. He has a great core team of individuals that are always there to support him, and he has the support of this city because all three of us were there.
Absolutely.
And it was a great day for flag football that Saturday morning. It was. I wish I could have stayed, but unfortunately I had a funeral to attend. But he's doing an outstanding job. I want to stick with Pannoni here because and our engineer in our city, we've got to give a lot of applause to our people in the city of Millville and the companies that we hired. Yes, we went out and got the best, Pannoni, because that's why Jim's Lunch is there. That's why no one was hurt. That's why that building came down very nicely by Perryman, who, by the way, he was the one that was handling that piece of machine. If you saw that machine, I don't know if you want to call it a claw. Am I right? He did that work. He is the one that brought those bricks down. So he took it upon himself to do that, Billy Perriman. So I'm glad the way we ran with that. I'm glad the way that went through. Is it costs a lot of money? It does. It does. But I guess what? If I could save one life from that building not falling on someone, I feel good about that. I feel very, very good about that because that building, as you heard from the professionals, was in pretty bad shape. So that's all I have. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate you.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. This meeting is adjourned.